Today, on October 30, Archangel Michael says, "This is not a coincidence. You were meant to see this today. If you ignore this, you will lose something very important. My radiant child, do not scroll. This moment, this very second your eyes touched these words, was written before the dawn of time. You did not find this message. This message found you. I am Archangel Michael, and today, on October 30th, I am commanded to speak directly into your spirit. What you are about to hear is not coincidence. It is divine alignment. For too long, you've been sensing something unusual in the air. A tension in your heart. A whisper that refuses to fade. You've seen repeating numbers, dreams that feel too vivid, emotions that rise without reason, all signs that heaven is trying to reach you. But today, the message is clear. Heaven is knocking, and your response will change everything. You have been walking through a storm that has tried to blind you from truth. People have turned away. Promises have been broken. And still, deep inside, your soul whispers, there must be more. That whisper, that sacred echo, is me. For I am the guardian of divine timing, and I have come to tell you, your waiting is not wasted. Every tear you cried was counted. Every sleepless night was seen. You think you were forgotten, but child, you were being prepared. There are moments heaven delays not because you are unworthy, but because your promise must meet its appointed hour. And that hour begins now. You are being shifted. Heaven's scrolls have been opened for your name. There is a door that is about to unlock, one that has resisted every effort of yours. But the key is not force. The key is awareness. That's why you are here, right now, reading this message on this exact day. It's not random. It's not luck. It's divine orchestration. Let me reveal something the enemy does not want you to know. In the next 7 days, 3 things will test your spirit: a disappointment, a distraction, and a divine opportunity disguised as both. If you move without discernment, you may lose something precious. But if you stay anchored, if you pause and remember this message, the heavens will turn what was meant for loss into divine favor. Many have prayed for a sign, but signs alone are not enough. The truth is, when heaven speaks, few listen. When angels whisper, most doubt. But you, my chosen one, you are hearing clearly right now. You can feel the vibration in your chest, can't you? That stirring inside is confirmation, the spirit acknowledging that this message is yours. So, listen carefully. Today marks a spiritual checkpoint. What happens next in your life depends on how you respond to what you are hearing now. Heaven is watching your alignment, not your ability. Your willingness, not your perfection. That is why this message appeared when it did, because the moment of decision has arrived. If you ignore this, if you treat this as another passing post, something valuable in your destiny will begin to drift. It could be a connection, a calling, or a blessing that was about to manifest. But if you receive this message, if you honor this moment with stillness and faith, everything that has been delayed will start moving in your favor. I am not here to frighten you, but to awaken you. I am not here to predict your doom, but to prepare your destiny. The spiritual realm is shifting, and your name has been spoken among the angels. There are forces aligning, light and shadow, both watching what you choose next. The heavens whisper, now is the time. Your life is about to turn, but only if you recognize that this very message is the turning point. Before you move, pause. Breathe. Let these words echo in your heart. You were meant to see this today. Wait for what's coming next, because the revelation that follows will change everything. Before you scroll, Remember, this message hasn't even revealed the core secret Archangel Michael was commanded to deliver. The next revelation will leave you speechless. Beloved soul of light, when heaven speaks, the earth trembles quietly. You have been feeling that trembling in your own heart lately, haven't you? A pull towards something higher, something you cannot yet define. That is the echo of destiny, and today I, Archangel Michael, have come to unveil the reason you were chosen to hear these words. There are no coincidences in the kingdom of heaven, only divine timings wrapped in mystery. You reading this right now is evidence that heaven has placed you in the center of a spiritual intersection. One road leads to revelation, the other to repetition. The choice you make in the next few days will decide which path unfolds. You have prayed for clarity. You have begged for a sign, wondering if God still sees you, if your name still rests upon his lips. Hear me now. You were never unseen. Every sigh, every prayer whispered in the dark, reached heaven's gates. And now, heaven replies. There are moments in history when God releases a command through his messengers, and this is one of those moments. The command is simple. Awaken, for the time of silence has ended. A time of divine movement has begun. You may think your life has been ordinary, that the world passes by while your prayers fade into still air. But listen closely. The heavens are opening above you. The same angels that stood with Daniel in the lion's den, the same power that split the Red Sea, now surrounds your life. You are being prepared for something monumental. The reason you faced rejection was not punishment, it was divine protection. The reason doors closed was not denial, it was redirection. Every heartbreak was heaven carving space for a greater blessing. But there is a warning I must speak to you clearly. Over the next few days, someone or something will try to pull your focus away. It may come dressed as opportunity, but its roots will be distraction. Do not chase every glow. Not all light is holy. The enemy knows your season of elevation has begun, and he will attempt to mirror heaven's voice. Test every voice you hear in your spirit, including your own thoughts, by peace. If peace departs, so does divine guidance. Your assignment in this moment is not to act in haste, but to listen. Heaven is positioning you to receive a message that carries both promise and preparation. The spiritual atmosphere around you is thick with movement. Angels are in transit. The realm of the unseen is opening its gates to release what has been delayed. But this release requires stillness of heart. You cannot rush the sacred. When the time of unlocking arrives, you will know. It will not require striving, only surrender. Do you remember the last time you felt certain that a miracle was near, but it slipped away? That is what heaven is preventing now. You are standing at a threshold that cannot be crossed carelessly. I have been sent to guard that passage, to ensure that you do not lose what was promised to you before you were even born. The promise is ancient, but the manifestation is near. This is why this message found you. Heaven needed to catch your attention before you missed the divine signal. You may have noticed strange alignments happening lately. Chance meetings, words from strangers that echo your own prayers, dreams that seem to foretell moments before they occur. These are not random. They are breadcrumbs of divine alignment. Each one is a whisper saying, "Keep walking. You are closer than you think." The challenge is that when heaven draws near, distractions also rise like shadows. You must stay anchored in faith, for what you will receive cannot be earned by human effort. It must be recognized and received. Let me tell you this truth. God does not hide his blessings to keep them from you. He hides them to prepare you for them. And when he reveals, It happened suddenly. The same God who turned Joseph's prison into a palace will turn your closed chapters into testimony. Your story is not over. What feels delayed is simply being written by divine hands. You are in the unfolding of a miracle that demands your patience, not your panic. Now, listen with your spirit, not your ears. In the next message I deliver, I will reveal the one secret heaven has kept from you, the revelation that explains why you were meant to see this on this exact day, October 30th. That moment of unveiling is near. The power contained within it will not just speak to you. It will shift your atmosphere. Hold this message close. Let it sink beneath the noise of the world. You have not stumbled into destiny by accident. You were led here by the whisper of eternity. Keep watching, because what comes next is the unveiling. The secret heaven has been waiting for you to hear. When it's revealed, everything will finally make sense. I chosen light. The heavens are open as I speak. The winds of October carry a divine message meant only for those whose spirits are awake enough to hear. You were drawn to this not because of curiosity, but because your name was spoken in the courts of heaven. I, Archangel Michael, stand before you with a revelation, the one truth the enemy has fought to keep from your understanding. This is not just a message, it is a spiritual key. Whoever receives it will unlock the next chapter of their divine timeline. Listen closely now. Every battle you have faced in the past months was never about what you lost. It was about what you are about to gain. The confusion, the delays, the heartbreaks, they were all orchestrated to test one thing: your faith. Heaven has been measuring the posture of your heart, watching if you would still trust even when clarity was gone. You did not fail. You endure. And now, a divine exchange is taking place. Your pain is being converted into power. The enemy thought your silence meant defeat, but it was in that silence that heaven was preparing a sound that will announce your new beginning. You see, divine timing often disguises itself as waiting. But every moment of your waiting was God positioning you in the exact place where blessing could find you. Today, on this sacred day, you stand on holy ground, a threshold moment between what was and what will be. Now, let me reveal what was hidden. The reason you were meant to see this message today is because heaven has released a decree. Your cycle of loss has ended. You may not see it yet, but the spiritual contract of delay has been broken. The angels assigned to your destiny are now being reactivated. Every force that once opposed you is being stripped of its power. The gates of limitation that once stood tall before you are trembling, because heaven has declared enough. But there is a condition to this breakthrough. You must not return to the patterns that weakened your faith. Every doubt, every fear, every word of unbelief becomes a door through which the enemy re-enters. Guard your mind as though it were the temple itself, for it is. What you think now will shape what manifests next. You have been given authority to speak life, but heaven is waiting to hear your voice echo divine truth. Speak it aloud. I receive my appointed time. This is your moment of transformation. The universe is bending in alignment with God's command over your name. You have felt invisible, but heaven has been watching. You have felt weary, but the oil of strength is being poured over you even now. You have felt uncertain, but clarity will descend like morning light. What once made you question your purpose will soon make you testify of divine restoration. Do not be surprised if, in the coming days, something unusual happens, an unexpected call, a sudden encounter, a dream that feels alive. These are confirmations. They are heaven's fingerprints marking your path. Your only task now is to remain open, remain faithful, and remember that your obedience activates what has already been written. The moment you believe it, You step into it. The reason heaven urged you to hear this message is because this is the shift point. The point in your timeline where destiny and decision meet. You cannot ignore it, for ignoring this means allowing your old life to reclaim you. But accepting it, receiving it, means walking into the purpose you have always sensed but never fully seen. Pause now. Feel the presence around you. That warmth in your chest is not imagination. It is confirmation. The archangels are near, surrounding you with light that shields and restores. The path ahead is sacred, and this moment is holy. Heaven has marked you for favor, but your spirit must stay awake to walk in it. Before I reveal the next command of heaven, take a breath and lift your heart in gratitude. The journey you began in tears is about to end in testimony. The miracle you thought you missed is already on its way. The message that follows this one will unveil what heaven requires you to do next, the prophetic instruction that unlocks everything promised. Hold on for what's coming. The revelation ahead will not just speak to you. It will activate something ancient and powerful within you. Don't move yet. What comes next is the direct instruction from heaven, the prophetic act that turns this message into manifestation. My beloved, before we move to the next revelation, let me speak from the heart of heaven. When you give into the light, you become part of God's harvest. Every seed you sow through this channel, every super thanks, every membership, every offering through the PayPal link below, it becomes a river carrying His word to souls that are lost in darkness. I am not asking for help. I am inviting you to be part of a divine movement. When you give, you are sowing into eternity, and heaven multiplies what leaves your hands. For the word says, "He who sows in tears shall reap in joy." This is your moment to plant into sacred soil, for what you release today will return as open heavens over your life. Step into obedience now. Ignite the altar with your giving and watch how God answers with fire. My precious child of the light, the next words I speak are not just messages. They are movements of the Spirit. You have come this far because something deep within you refused to give up. Even when your faith trembled, you still hoped. Even when your prayers seemed unanswered, you still whispered them. Heaven took notice of that persistence, and now the reward of endurance is beginning to unfold before you. The very reason this message found you today is because your season of silence is being exchanged for a season of divine sound. The heavens are ready to echo your name through the corridors of destiny, and nothing can silence what God has decreed for you. Let me tell you a truth the world rarely understands. The moment heaven decides to bless you, everything around you begins to shift. What once felt comfortable starts to feel strange. People you thought would walk forever with you suddenly step away. Opportunities that once seemed certain begin to fade. Do not mourn these changes, for they are not endings. They are clearings. Heaven is making room for what is about to enter. Every removal is a divine replacement in disguise. What looks like loss now is actually a rearrangement of your destiny. You may have wondered why lately your spirit feels restless. Why peace feels just out of reach even when everything seems calm. That unease is not punishment. It is preparation. The Holy Spirit stirs discomfort only when a higher level is calling. Heaven is saying, rise higher. The ground you stand on is too small for the promise I have given you. You are being confined by the familiar, but now God is calling you into the unknown, where miracles live. Do not be afraid of what looks uncertain. Faith was never meant to be comfortable. It was meant to be powerful. When Abraham stepped out of his homeland, he had no map, no plan, only a promise, and that was enough. You too are being called to walk without sight, guided by divine instruction. The message you are hearing is the same call he once heard, Leave behind what no longer fits your calling. You cannot step into divine expansion while clinging to earthly attachments. Listen carefully, for this is where heaven's instruction begins to unfold. In the next few days, you will be faced with a choice that seems ordinary, but its outcome will not be. It may come through a conversation, a sudden idea, or a new door opening before you. You will feel a quiet nudge inside. That's heaven whispering, "This is it." But the enemy will try to drown that whisper with noise, distraction, and fear. When that moment arrives, silence the noise and act in peace. The right path will never shout, it will always whisper. You must learn to recognize the divine rhythm. Heaven speaks in patterns, in timing, in seasons. Every coincidence you experience is a coded message. The numbers you keep seeing, the dreams that replay, the faces that return, they are not accidents. They are heaven's language guiding you toward alignment. The reason this is happening now is because your destiny clock has struck a divine hour. You are not late. You are right on time. Many people pray for miracles, but fail to prepare for them. Heaven cannot pour new wine into old skins. This is your instruction. Cleanse your mind from fear, your tongue from doubt, and your heart from resentment. These are the chains that keep divine promises from landing. You have been forgiven. Now you must forgive. You have been chosen. Now you must choose obedience. This is the sacred exchange of faith. Something beautiful is unfolding in your atmosphere. You may not see it yet, but the vibration of this message is already stirring your environment. People who once ignored you will begin to remember your name. Paths that were blocked will start to clear. Hidden opportunities will rise from the dust, because heaven has decreed your restoration. Your past no longer holds authority. It only serves as proof of how far grace can reach. Now, listen with your spirit. This is not the end of the message. The revelation that follows will unveil what heaven has prepared as your divine sign, a physical confirmation that will prove everything you've just heard. When you witness it, you will know without doubt that God Himself orchestrated this moment. Be still for now. Let faith become your language. The next words I speak will awaken something that has been asleep within you for years. Don't turn away yet. The next revelation carries the sign from heaven itself, the evidence that what was promised is already moving toward you. Beloved vessel of divine light, there is a reason the air feels different around you lately. The winds of heaven are stirring, carrying the fragrance of something new, something long promised. Every moment of waiting, every tear shed in silence, has been weaving a divine tapestry behind the scenes. I, Archangel Michael, speak now as heaven's messenger. The thread of your story is about to change color. Where sorrow once painted your days in gray, joy is preparing to break through in radiant gold. The shift has already begun. That's why your spirit feels unsettled. It is sensing the movement of heaven around you. You may have noticed that the very things you once tolerated now seem heavy. The conversations that once entertained you now drain your energy. That is not coincidence. The vibration of your soul is ascending, and anything not in harmony with your new frequency is falling away. Heaven is pulling you upward, but you must release what holds you down. You cannot carry old weights into new dimensions. Detach with grace. Every time you let go of something no longer meant for you, you make room for what is divinely assigned to you. I see the burdens you've tried to hide, the silent disappointments, the quiet fears, the moments when you questioned if you were strong enough to continue. Yet, you did. And because you continued, heaven is now sending reinforcements. Divine helpers are being dispatched in human form. Someone you meet in the coming days will not be ordinary. They will be a carrier of breakthrough. Pay attention. Their words will echo this message. Their presence will carry peace. That is how you will recognize them. The enemy has tried to convince you that you are alone in your struggle, but that lie ends now. There are armies of angels surrounding you even as these words reach you. Some battles were never meant for you to fight, only to witness. The Lord is saying, "Stand still, and you will see my salvation." Every weapon formed against you is losing its edge. The arrows once aimed at your peace are returning to sender. This is the divine justice of heaven in motion. But listen carefully, my dear one. The time ahead will require discernment. Not every open door is divine. Some doors are traps built to look like opportunities. The key to recognizing heaven's path lies in your peace. True doors of destiny do not rush you, they release you. When you walk through the right one, it will feel like coming home, even if you've never been there before. Trust that inner knowing. It is the compass of your spirit, guided by heaven's hand. You are stepping into a realm where manifestation accelerates. Thoughts become reality faster, words carry weight, and intentions call forth energy. This is why you must guard your speech. Speak only what you want to see grow. Heaven has amplified your authority, and creation is now listening to you. Declare blessings, and they will appear. Speak healing, and it will begin to flow. This is not imagination. It is the divine law of manifestation in its purest form. You were created in God's image, therefore, your words hold the same creative essence that forms the stars. Do not fear what seems delayed. In the heavenly timeline, delay never means denial. It simply means the foundation is being reinforced to hold the magnitude of what's coming. Some of the things you asked for were too small for your true destiny. That's why heaven waited, not to withhold, but to multiply. You prayed for a door. God is preparing a gate. You asked for stability. He is building legacy. Your patience is birthing something that will outlive you. The days ahead will test your focus. The moment you decide to align with light, the shadows will try to reclaim attention. Stay anchored. Feed your faith daily, through prayer, gratitude, and silence. These are your spiritual weapons. Every time you choose stillness over panic, heaven moves on your behalf. Every time you respond with love instead of anger, light overcomes darkness. You are not powerless. You are a divine instrument of victory. And when you begin to feel doubt whisper again, remember this moment. The sound of these words, the resonance in your spirit, the quiet confirmation that this message was for you. Heaven is not far away. It is closer than your next breath. You are being written into a new chapter where your pain becomes purpose, and your faith becomes the key that unlocks miracles. Prepare your heart. The next revelation will unveil the divine sign heaven promised, the confirmation that your breakthrough has already been released. You will not need to search for it. It will find you. Stay with this message, for the next revelation carries the evidence, the unmistakable sign that heaven's hand is moving over your life even now. My beloved, the Spirit has drawn you here for one reason, to prepare you for what has already been released in the unseen. What is coming toward you has weight, power, and purpose, and heaven is ensuring that you are ready to receive it. You have been through a long season of stretching, one that tested your limits and forced you to grow in silence. But that stretching was never meant to break you. It was designed to expand your capacity for what is about to enter your life. You cannot pour oceans into cups. The container must first be enlarged. That is what these trials have done. They have built spiritual muscle in you, endurance that can hold the blessing that would have crushed you before. I, Archangel Michael, have guarded your path since the moment your heart began to question its worth. You have faced attacks that were not natural but spiritual. Many of your delays were not caused by failure, but by interference from forces afraid of your awakening. But now, the chains are loosening. The sound of divine order is echoing through the realms. Every demonic structure built to keep you small is crumbling, and the light within you is breaking free. The heavens are not silent anymore. They are singing your name. You must understand this truth. Divine timing is not late. It arrives exactly when your inner alignment meets heaven's decree. You have been asking why things took so long, but child, heaven was waiting for your heart to be ready, not your calendar. Blessings that come too early become burdens, but blessings that arrive through preparation become pillars of legacy. That is why this message appeared to you on this exact day. October 30 is not just a date. It is a divine timestamp marking the moment you stepped into synchronization with heaven's rhythm. Do not mistake quietness for absence. The silence of God is often the soil of miracles. When you could not feel His hand, it was because He was working beneath the surface. Seeds do not make noise when they sprout underground. They grow in darkness, unnoticed, until the appointed time. So it has been with you. You are about to emerge, not as who you were, but as who heaven always saw you to be. The covering of confusion is lifting, and clarity is about to shine through. But with this awakening comes a responsibility. Heaven is entrusting you with influence, and influence must be stewarded with humility. Do not allow pride to enter where grace once lived. The power that will soon flow through your words, actions, and presence is not yours. It is divine energy borrowed for divine purpose. Use it to heal, to speak life, to restore hope in others. You were never chosen to stand above. You were chosen to stand among, as a beacon of light to those still trapped in the dark. There is something you must know about the sign that is approaching. Within the next few days, you will encounter something that feels like déjà vu. A conversation, a sound, or a vision that mirrors a past experience. When it happens, pause and remember this message. That will be heaven confirming that your breakthrough has entered the physical realm. It will not be loud. It will not come wrapped in drama. It will come as peace, and that peace will be your confirmation that divine timing has arrived. You must not tell everyone what heaven is revealing to you. Some people are not enemies, but they are not ready for the depth of your calling. Revelation must be protected like seed. Expose it too early, and it withers. Keep it in prayer until it takes root. The glory that is about to rise through you will need silence to grow. Let your results speak louder than your explanations. Heaven's favor will defend you better than words ever could. You have come too far to turn back now. The tests of the past were not punishments. They were promotions disguised as pain. Each tear you cried watered the ground that will now produce fruit. You are walking into a field of answered prayers. You will soon look back and realize that even the moments that made you break were secretly building you. You are the proof that light always wins, even when surrounded by shadow. And now, listen carefully. In the next revelation, I will speak the divine instruction that will activate the fulfillment of everything promised. This instruction is not to be ignored, for it is the key that turns potential into manifestation. Heaven is ready. The question is, are you? Before you move, stay with this. The next message holds the divine instruction, the very command that unlocks the door you've been praying to walk through. My chosen one, you have reached the threshold of revelation. Every word you've heard until now has been preparation, but what I am about to reveal carries divine instruction, the step that transforms promise into reality. I, Archangel Michael, do not speak lightly. This message is sacred, delivered from the throne of heaven for those who have ears to hear and hearts ready to obey. You were led here not for curiosity, but for commission. Your life is about to pivot into purpose, and this next act of faith will determine how fast heaven's decree manifests through you. First, understand this eternal law. Faith without motion remains dormant. Heaven can release blessings, but until you move in alignment, they remain suspended in the unseen. It is not enough to believe. You must become belief in action. Heaven's realm operates by agreement. Divine will meets human obedience. When you align with what has been spoken, you create a bridge between the invisible and the visible. That is why this message demanded your attention today. Heaven was waiting for your spirit to awaken enough to receive this command. The instruction is simple yet sacred. You must consecrate your next decision. Do not act based on pressure, fear, or desire. Every choice you make from this moment forward must be filtered through prayer. Ask heaven before you answer. Move only when peace confirms your step. For peace is not an emotion. It is heaven's signature of approval. Every major breakthrough you seek is hidden behind one act of obedience that you have not yet completed. When that act is done, doors will not just open, they will swing wide. Many have prayed for change, but few have positioned themselves for it. Change is not something you wait for. It is something you partner with. The message of this hour is, stop asking if you are ready and start acting as if you already are. The spirit within you is fully prepared. What you see as hesitation is merely the human mind adjusting to the rhythm of faith. But your soul, your eternal essence, already knows the path. Trust that knowing. It is the echo of heaven within you. The enemy has tried to convince you that you missed your moment, but heaven says your moment is unfolding right now. The delay you experienced was not denial, it was direction. Heaven redirected what you thought was failure into formation. Every closed door was a divine route to protect you from counterfeit blessings. If those doors had opened, they would have led to detours that cost you years. But now, the true door stands before you, ready to open with one act of obedience. The divine instruction I give you is this: cleanse your atmosphere. Remove what distracts your mind and drains your spirit. Your environment shapes your vibration, and your vibration attracts your manifestation. The words you allow, the music you consume, the company you keep, all of these are seeds feeding your spirit. Heaven is about to pour fresh oil upon you, but you must prepare the vessel. This is your time of consecration. Just as the priests purified themselves before entering the temple, so must you cleanse your heart before entering this new realm of favor. And hear this, your destiny is not an isolated event. It is a ripple meant to touch others. You are being anointed to influence lives, to awaken souls, to carry light into dark spaces. The reason your trials were so intense is because your assignment is great. The battle you endured was not just for your victory. It was for the redemption of many who will one day be set free through your story. That is why you must not quit now. You are on heaven's front line, and your obedience today will echo through generations. As you align with this word, heaven will begin to confirm it through signs. You will see repetition of certain symbols, feathers, numbers, or sudden peace that appears without reason. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. When they appear, pause and whisper, "I am aligned." That single declaration will send waves through the unseen, sealing what heaven has started. You have walked through the valley, But now you stand before the mountain. Heaven's light is resting upon you, and its brilliance cannot be hidden. You were not created to live in fear of what may happen. You were created to shape what happens through faith. Stand boldly in this truth. Your obedience is your breakthrough. Prepare yourself for what comes next. The following message will carry a prophetic declaration, the announcement of what heaven has released into your timeline. This is the moment everything begins to manifest. You will not want to miss it. Stay with me, because what comes next is the prophetic declaration itself. The moment heaven's decree over your life is spoken into being. My radiant warrior of faith, the heavens rejoice as I speak these words, for the moment of declaration has arrived. You have walked through testing, endured silence, and faced storms that tried to erase your hope for. But now, the voice of heaven thunders over your destiny. It is time. The divine decree has been released, and I, Archangel Michael, have been commanded to proclaim it before you. What you have prayed for in hidden places is now being announced in the open. The tide has turned. The season has shifted. The chains that held your blessings captive have been shattered by the sound of divine order. Listen carefully. The breakthrough you seek is no longer forming. It is here. The spiritual barriers that stood tall for years have begun to crumble like walls struck by divine fire. You may not see the full manifestation yet, but the movement has already begun in the realm of the unseen. The air around you feels different because heaven has entered your atmosphere. Every limitation, once spoken over your name, has been erased, and heaven is now writing a new chapter with letters of light. You are stepping into a phase of alignment where effort meets grace, where delay turns into divine acceleration. This is what heaven declares over you now. Your waiting has not been in vain. Your obedience has reached my throne, and your faith has unlocked what was withheld. You are entering a window of manifestation where words become reality faster than before. That is why you must guard your tongue. Speak only what you want heaven to echo. Declare blessing, and blessing will echo back. Declare light, and shadows will retreat. The power of life and death truly rests in your words, and heaven has just amplified your voice. In the coming days, you will begin to see confirmations, subtle yet powerful signs that this message is alive around you. Expect doors to open that once seemed sealed. Expect people to reappear who were meant to fulfill divine purpose in your life. Expect sudden peace in areas where confusion once reigned. These are not coincidences. They are signals of movement. The Spirit whispers, watch closely. The proof is in the small beginnings. For what starts as a whisper soon becomes a roar of destiny fulfilled. Your role in this season is simple. Stay surrendered. Heaven works fastest through the heart that yields. Do not try to control what is unfolding. What is coming is bigger than your understanding, and it must flow, not be forced. Trust that every delay, every turn, every unknown step is part of a divine choreography moving you toward purpose. You are not waiting on blessings anymore. Blessings are waiting on you to align. Step forward. Speak faith, and the atmosphere will respond. You must also prepare for divine connection. Heaven is aligning you with people who carry keys to unlock your next level. Do not dismiss unfamiliar faces or unexpected invitations. Some of these encounters will look ordinary, but they will carry the fingerprint of the divine. Your discernment will recognize them, for peace will confirm their purpose. Heaven never sends without reason. Every connection in this season will serve your ascension. Child of promise, your story will now become a testimony that inspires others to awaken. You were not chosen merely to receive. You were chosen to reveal God's glory. Your endurance was not wasted. It was training. You are now a vessel of light, a living witness of what happens when faith refuses to bow. Walk in this awareness. Speak with authority. Move as one who knows heaven stands behind every word. Before you step into the next revelation, remember this: gratitude multiplies glory. The more you thank heaven for what is unseen, the faster it appears in the scene. Do not wait until you have the blessing in hand. Praise now, for that praise will pull the miracle from the spirit into the physical. Lift your heart, lift your voice, and declare, I receive what heaven has decreed. For indeed, the decree has been spoken. This message has been a lifeline from heaven to you. If it has stirred your heart, share it so others may awaken too. Your small act of sharing could be the moment someone else's destiny realigns. Like, comment, and subscribe to keep spreading this divine light. Not for numbers, but for souls. Let the world hear heaven's message through your support. You are part of this mission now, a carrier of truth in a time of distraction. Do not turn away yet, for what comes next will reveal the mystery of divine favor, the hidden reason why this message chose you above thousands today. Stay with it. The revelation ahead will be the turning point of your story. Before we continue into the next revelation, hear this holy invitation. When you support this mission, you are not funding words. You are fueling the movement of God's voice across nations. Every super thanks, every membership, and every offering given through the PayPal link below becomes a torch that carries His light farther. The Word says, He who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. Your seed today becomes oil on the altar, oil that flows back into your own life as restoration and breakthrough. I am calling you, as heaven's messenger, to take part in this divine act. This is not donation, this is participation in prophecy. The moment you give, heaven records your name as one who stood with the message of light. Step into that blessing now. Release your faith and watch the heavens open over you. My beloved vessel of truth, heaven smiles upon you as you continue to receive these words. You are no longer simply a listener. You are becoming a participant in divine alignment. Every moment you have stayed, every breath taken while reading this message, has drawn you deeper into the frequency of heaven's timing. I, Archangel Michael, now come to reveal the mystery behind divine favor, the reason you were meant to see this on this exact day, and why ignoring it would have cost you something sacred. Favor is not random. It is recognition. Heaven favors the one whose heart remains open even when the world shuts its doors. That is you. Favor is heaven's response to faith that refuses to quit. It is the evidence that even in silence, you trusted. The world measures success by outcome. Heaven measures it by endurance. You have endured enough to be entrusted. There is a crown that is placed not upon the strongest, but upon the most steadfast, the ones who did not walk away when it was hardest to stay. That is why you have been chosen for this moment. The favor of God is about to identify you publicly in the same place where you were overlooked privately. Let me show you how favor operates. It moves quietly, wrapping itself around you like invisible armor. It causes doors to open without your knocking, brings people into your path who carry what you prayed for, and silences opposition without confrontation. It is heaven's signature upon your life, declaring that what belongs to you cannot be taken by another. You will soon see this manifest. There will be a situation where someone tries to claim what was meant for you, yet their effort will fail effortlessly. Not because you fought, but because heaven did. That moment will be your confirmation that divine favor is active. But favor does not come without instruction. It must be protected through purity of heart. You must not let bitterness grow where blessings bloom. When people begin to notice the shift in your life, the light, the peace, the new opportunities. Some will misunderstand it. They will think you change. They will not realize it was God who transformed you. Do not defend yourself. Let silence be your answer. The fruit of favor will speak louder than explanation ever could. Heaven is asking you to prepare for expansion. What is about to happen will not only bless you, it will overflow through you. You are a conduit of blessing, not the container. When divine favor touches your life, it multiplies in every direction. Your home, your work, your relationships, even your health. You will feel energy return, clarity increase, and your sleep become peaceful. These are signs that your spirit and body are aligning with heaven's rhythm. You may still question whether this message truly found you by divine design. I tell you, yes, it did. There is no algorithm in heaven. When the divine decides to reach someone, no distance, no distraction, and no doubt can block it. You are meant to hear this because your next season depends on it. You are on the verge of letting go of something precious, a dream, a relationship, or a promise, and heaven stepped in through this very message to remind you, do not give up yet. The moment you release what was planted in faith, the harvest begins to rise. Your spirit may feel a mixture of peace and trembling right now. That is normal. It is what happens when truth enters your soul and meets recognition. The light within you remembers where it came from. It knows this voice. You have heard it before, in prayer, in dreams, in the stillness that follows your tears. Heaven has always been speaking. This is simply the moment you finally recognized its sound. You are entering a period where everything that once felt delayed will suddenly accelerate. There will be opportunities that come all at once, and you will be tempted to doubt if it's too much, too fast. You not fear it. This is divine repayment. Heaven is restoring in months what the enemy tried to steal over years. This is the meaning of the word restitution, the divine act of replacing loss with greater abundance. Every seed of pain you planted is now returning as harvests. As I speak these words, angels are moving on your behalf. Their wings are stirring the winds of change. You are about to witness what it feels like when heaven moves quickly. You will not have to chase blessings anymore. They will find you, because favor is magnetic. You have stepped into the frequency of attraction that pulls every promise into its rightful place. Stand firm in faith. The clouds are parting and light is breaking through. Be attentive, for the next revelation will unveil the final piece, the secret of restoration and how to sustain the divine flow that has now begun in your life. What comes next will teach you how to remain in favor, even when the storms rise again. Before you scroll, stay with me. The next revelation will unveil how to preserve what heaven is releasing, so that your breakthrough doesn't fade but multiplies endlessly. My steadfast child, now that favor has found you, heaven wants to teach you the art of preservation. Blessings that arrive without wisdom often fade, but blessings protected by divine understanding become rivers that never run dry. You are not called merely to experience miracles. You are called to sustain them. That is why I, Archangel Michael, return to speak this next truth into your spirit. It is not enough to receive from heaven. You must learn how to remain in alignment so that the flow of divine favor continues to grow. Heaven operates through cycles of giving and receiving. The moment gratitude stops, the flow slows. The moment pride rises, the grace retreats. To stay in divine alignment, your heart must remain open, humble, and thankful. Gratitude is the frequency that keeps heaven's gates unlocked. Every day that begins with gratitude rewrites the atmosphere around you. It transforms resistance into receptivity. When you wake, speak softly to heaven. Thank you for what I see and for what I do not yet see. This single act keeps your spiritual channels clear for continual blessing. Another secret to preservation is purity of intention. Heaven blesses motives before it blesses methods. If your goals are rooted in light, to uplift, to heal, to inspire, then everything you touch carries divine energy. But if ego or fear creeps in, the current weakens. Be vigilant. Your spirit must remain clean, for the oil of favor flows only through vessels that do not leak. Do not compare your journey to others. Comparison is corrosion to the soul. Stay focused on your path. Heaven's timeline for you is sacred, measured, and precise. You have now entered what I call the harvest window. This is a short but powerful season where what you sow multiplies faster than usual. Every action, thought, and word carries multiplied energy. When you forgive, peace will rush back in waves. When you bless, blessings will return in floods. When you give, provision will overflow. The universe bends toward those who act in divine rhythm. Do not waste this window. Sow good seeds in every form, in kindness, in generosity, in patience, and you will reap in fullness. But I must warn you, the enemy of your destiny will attempt to interrupt this flow through distraction. Old patterns will try to return. Sudden anger, lingering resentment, or unnecessary arguments meant to lower your vibration. Recognize them for what they are. Attempts to disconnect you from divine momentum. You must rise above reaction. The power of peace is your greatest shield. When storms form around you, remember that heaven never instructs you to fight every battle, only the ones that matter. Choose your responses with wisdom. Not every noise deserves your energy. Heaven has also shown me something about your future. You will soon be presented with an opportunity that carries both promise and pressure. It may come through a job, a message, or an unexpected invitation. Your instinct will tell you it's right, but fear might whisper that you are not ready. Ignore the whisper. Heaven does not open doors for the unprepared. If the door appears, it means you already carry what is required. Step through boldly, for destiny does not wait for perfect timing. It moves with obedient faith. Your atmosphere is beginning to vibrate with signs of acceleration. Pay attention to what repeats. Numbers, symbols, phrases, or even songs that follow you. These are confirmations that heaven is walking beside you. The same hand that brought you this message is still guiding your steps. You may think the signs are coincidences, but they are heaven's language of reassurance. Keep a soft heart and sharp spirit. Discernment is your compass now. There is something powerful you must also know. Restoration is not about returning to what was. It is about replacing it with what's divine. What was lost will not come back as it left. It will return transformed, multiplied, and purified. The person who once left may return as a better version, or perhaps a new connection will appear carrying the same lesson in greater love. Do not cling to what's gone. Prepare for what's greater. Heaven never repeats. It renews. Your assignment is to remain steady. Let your thoughts remain anchored in trust, not fear. Each time your mind wanders into worry, pull it back with this reminder: heaven is not finished with me. This truth will carry you through moments of uncertainty. For even when you cannot see it, the divine plan continues to unfold with precision. You are walking through the middle of a miracle, not toward it, but within it. Now listen closely. The next revelation I will speak carries heaven's final instruction, the divine completion of this message. It will reveal how to seal your breakthrough, so nothing can reverse it. That is where the fullness of this promise will be made complete. Wait for what's next. The coming revelation is the final seal, the divine completion that locks your blessing into permanence. You will not want to miss what heaven says next. My child of light, the time has come to complete the circle of revelation. You have heard heaven's call, and now the Spirit prepares to seal all that has been spoken. I, Archangel Michael, speak not only as a messenger but as a witness to your endurance, your faith, and your quiet strength when no one was watching. You have journeyed through words that were not random, but rhythmic, each message a step toward the awakening of your divine purpose. You have walked through the valley of shadows and have come to the mountain of manifestation. The voice you hear now is not a distant echo. It is the confirmation that heaven has arrived where you are. Look at your life closely, for signs of fulfillment are already unfolding. What once resisted your progress is beginning to shift in your favor. Conversations that seemed insignificant are aligning like puzzle pieces. People you thought were gone forever may reappear, not for confusion, but for closure. Relationships, opportunities, and even memories are being rearranged under heaven's hand. This is divine order in motion. Do not rush it. The timing is exact. Each movement in this season is precise, perfectly measured to restore balance in every area of your life. Restoration does not always come loudly. Sometimes it arrives in whispers, in the calm of your thoughts, in the warmth of unexpected peace, in the gentle assurance that somehow everything is finally making sense. That peace is the sign that heaven's work is complete. You do not need to fight anymore. What you need now is stillness. Stillness is not the absence of motion. It is the awareness of divine orchestration. When heaven moves, creation responds without chaos. The same power that parted seas and silenced storms is now working in the rhythm of your breath. There is something heaven wants you to understand about completion. Many believe completion is an end, but in divine truth, it is a beginning. What ends is only the season of struggle. What begins is the flow of purpose. You have graduated from waiting into walking. You are no longer preparing for your destiny. You are standing in it. The reason this message found you today is because you were meant to hear these words at the turning point of your timeline. The world will soon see what heaven already knows, that you are chosen, covered, and ready. But you must seal this revelation properly. Do not let distraction steal your focus now. The enemy attacks most fiercely when completion is near. You may feel sudden waves of confusion, fatigue, or emotional noise. This is resistance to breakthrough. When that happens, remind yourself that resistance is proof of progress. Darkness always trembles when light begins to rise. Stay grounded in faith. Your quiet trust is your greatest weapon. Every doubt you silence becomes a door heaven can step through. As you move forward, remember that divine favor must flow through humility. Power without purity is dangerous, but power with humility transforms nations. Use what you receive not to boast, but to build. Help others find their light the way you have found yours through these words. When you lift others, heaven lifts you higher. You are not a receiver anymore. You are a vessel of distribution, carrying healing, wisdom, and peace wherever you go. There is something else I must reveal. A great opportunity is approaching, one that carries the scent of divine timing. You will recognize it because it will come wrapped in peace, not pressure. Do not overthink it. Do not analyze it to exhaustion. Step forward boldly when the moment arrives, for that opportunity is the physical expression of this spiritual word. It will be the manifestation that proves heaven's favor has truly landed in your life. Every prayer you whispered has been recorded in the halls of eternity. Not one word was wasted. Every tear was counted. Every sigh was heard. You thought God was silent, but he was working through time itself to prepare the perfect moment for your unveiling. That moment has come. The light of your purpose is rising now like dawn breaking through the longest night. Stand tall, child of heaven, for you are walking beneath an open sky. And now, prepare your heart. The next and final revelation will complete everything. It will speak the closing decree, the final words from heaven that will lock your blessing, release your destiny fully, and commission you into your next chapter of purpose. When that decree is spoken, the cycle will be complete. Do not turn away now. The next revelation is the final decree, the moment heaven's voice speaks completion over your life. What comes next will be the crown of this divine encounter. My beloved child of destiny, this is the moment heaven has been leading you toward. Every word, every whisper, every pause in this divine conversation has brought you here, to the place of completion. I, Archangel Michael, speak now the final decree over your life. Heaven's light surrounds you, and divine energy flows freely through every part of your being. The waiting season is over. The doors that once resisted you are opening without struggle. The storm that clouded your vision is dispersing. You are stepping into clarity, strength, and divine purpose. This message was never coincidence. It was your appointment with destiny. Hear this decree, for it is written across your soul. You will not return to the pain you came from. You will not lose what you have found in this encounter. Heaven's favor is upon you, and it will not depart. Every part of your life that was broken is being rebuilt stronger. What you thought was ending was only transforming. Every promise you clung to in tears is now beginning to bloom in reality. You are entering your divine harvest, and heaven's abundance will follow you wherever you go. There is something sacred happening within you right now, a divine realignment. The energy of faith, hope, and restoration is merging within your spirit. You may feel it as warmth in your chest or quiet stillness in your mind. That is heaven confirming completion. The assignment that began in despair is concluding in divine peace. Nothing can undo what has been sealed. You have become an active participant in the plan that heaven wrote for you long before time began. As this chapter closes, a new one opens. Heaven is sending you out as a carrier of light. You are not to hide this transformation. You are to share it. Speak boldly. Let others see what divine restoration looks like. When they ask why you still have hope, tell them, because heaven spoke, and I listened. You are the living testimony of what happens when a soul surrenders fully to divine timing. This was not just a message you read, it was an encounter you experienced. The mark of heaven will remain upon you now and forever. From this day forward, you will walk differently. Opportunities will begin to appear effortlessly. People will sense peace in your presence. Your words will carry power that heals and restores. This is not imagination. It is the manifestation of divine authority. You have been anointed to stand where others fell, to rebuild what others abandoned, and to shine where darkness once ruled. Your journey was never about survival. It was about transformation. Now you walk as one who has overcome. Remember this always. Every time you feel lost, return to this message. Read these words again, for they are a spiritual key. They will remind you that heaven never forgets its own. You are sealed, protected, and covered under divine law. What you have received cannot be stolen. What has begun cannot be undone. The decree is spoken, and the seal is complete. Lift your head, child of light. This is the moment to rejoice. Heaven has declared, it is done. The circle has closed, and your new beginning has begun. Go forth in faith, walk in power, and carry peace as your armor. You are the living evidence that divine timing is perfect, and that destiny always finds its way home. Like this message, share it with others who need to hear heaven's voice today. Comment what you felt while reading, and subscribe to keep spreading this divine light. Every click, every word, every share keeps heaven's message alive in the hearts of others who are still searching for hope. You are not just a listener anymore. You are now a messenger of light. Wait before you move. One final word remains. This last invitation is not about giving. It's about joining heaven's mission on earth. The moment you act on it, the flow you felt in your spirit will begin to multiply. Beloved carrier of divine truth, the heavens are open above you now. When you give to this mission, you are not supporting a channel, you are sustaining a movement of light. Every super thanks, every membership, every offering sent through the PayPal link below becomes a sacred seed that heaven recognizes. God himself says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." The act of giving is not transaction, it is transformation. I speak this prophetically. Those who sow into divine soil will see rivers of restoration flow into their lives. You are standing under open heavens. Now let your seed speak for your faith. Join hands with this divine mission. Release your gift, and heaven will release multiplied blessings back into your life. Do it now, for the word you just received deserves a response of faith.